Hello everybody, I'm glad you're here. I'm bringing you the second dream that my daughter had on August 20th, 2023. This is August 21st, 2023. So I'm like bringing these to you right away, mainly because I feel a great sense of urgency. Nearly like I never have before. Nearly like I never have before in my whole life. So I'm just shooting straight with you there. So you may do with this as you will. There are names of people that I'm just going to say their name, all right? I don't think they even watch me or watch this channel. I don't think there's any need for privacy or anything like that. But it's not very long, but I will start reading my daughter's dream. Backstory on my daughter, if you didn't watch the last video, she's an RN. She works at a nursing home. She's a believer. She's 29. And she lives here at home with us by choice. And, yeah, we all are one big happy family. So, here's what she dreamt the first part of the night. All right. Let me see if I can read her. Okay. I was at the church building. And we were having a revival. Now, this is the church building we just sold. That's right by the parsonage house, okay? So, it's not the church we're going to now. It's not the community church. It's the old church building we went to. I was at the old church building, and we were having a revival. Thousands of people came. It turned into this amphitheater that just went up and up and up and up along the side of a hill. And there were tons of people. And she says, Dad started it, and people began to worship and singing and dancing in the aisles. And there were friends from college there. Becca was there, and other college people. Jonathan was there. Jordan was there. And they were all talking about starting a new church. As it continued, I went up to Dad and said, did you expect this many people? And he said no. But as it went on, as the dream went on and the revival went on, some people stopped worshiping and began watching sports games on these big TVs and eating, etc. I went up to Mom and said, these people over here aren't worshiping, Mom. And Mom said, that's okay, they need to have fun too. I began to climb up the amphitheater hill. I saw some people I knew, Gary and Kaylee, another Jordan, and I said hi and kept climbing. There were some trampolines, and I began jumping on them with Ashley. We both jumped too far, but I caught myself. Ashley didn't. And we were way up in the sky, and I caught Ashley and started pulling her up to the trampoline, and I said, Ashley, you have to help me. And she said, I can't. I got her up, but I hurt my arm badly, tearing some of the muscles. As I got towards the top of the hill, it was like watching a movie, but also in the movie. That's what the dream felt like. She was watching it, but she was also in it. And there were friends, Cole and Clarice were there. But Cole was doing drugs and was an alcoholic, which is diametrically different to what this man is. They're godly people. Everyone had forgotten about the worship below. There was a huge barrier. As I walked around, there was a boy who was like the lead in the movie, but his life was based on me. He began to remember about what was going on below at the bottom of the hill. He began to ask people if they remembered, and that they, like the worship time, do you remember worshiping down there? And they said no. His arm was hurt in the same place as mine, and I went to Clarice to have it looked at because she's a physical therapist. after I went up to him and said we needed to, after that, I went up to him and said we needed to build an ark to get back down to the worshipers. He agreed, and we began, the same person, and began building the ark. The upper amphitheater had fences and chain link all around it, and it was built. But they had built an ark, and the ark slid down and crashed through the barrier back to the worshipers. And that was the end of that dream. Now, I hope that wasn't too confusing. But the emphasis on this is, and these are people who are her age. So I'm wondering in general if they represent that generation or if each person's name means something. So you're more than welcome to research the names. I'm not going to go into all of that. But I will say this. The Cole and Clarice, those two people, they're married, and they are very solid Christians, very solid believers. So they don't, so whatever they represent in this dream, it's not truly themselves. Now then, what I think is very interesting is there's a revival at the very beginning of this dream. It's a revival, and thousands of people are there. But it's nearly like, even at the revival, what's interesting is the further and further up the hill, the further people got away from the center of worship, where God was being worshipped, the more they forgot about what they were there for. So I don't think that needs a lot of explanation, y'all. There are people who are drifting away from God, all right? And they're letting all this other, I nearly just said a bad word. They're letting all this other crap come into their lives that is taking them away from the true meaning and purpose of why they're here, which is to glorify God and to seek Jesus and to fulfill your purpose while you're here for him. Although he doesn't need you, he wants you to fulfill your purpose. If you choose not to, he'll find somebody else. So that I think is very clear. The further they got away, there was even a fence that was built, and some of them didn't even remember what they were there for. All right? So I think that's clear. That doesn't need a lot of talking. Now, Ashley, when they're jumping on the trampoline, I'm not sure about the trampoline thing, although the trampoline was a big thing when my kids were little, but I'll just say, I think it's interesting that she says, you have to help me. You have to, give some also. And there are people who will take and take and take and take and take from you. And there may come a time when you have to say, I can't help you anymore. And you could be a casualty. I mean, Taylor injured her arm, tearing some of the muscles. If that means something that I'm not reading into it, then please enlighten me. I really am eager to I can't wait to read y'all's comments, to tell you the truth. So I think everyone had forgotten about worship below, and there was a huge barrier. And Scripture tells us that as we allow ourselves to distance ourselves, God doesn't distance himself from us. We distance ourselves from him. And so as that happens, the risk of that, and the Scriptures tells us this, is that our eyes will become blind to him, our ears will become deaf, our hearts will become hardened, and there ain't no going back. I mean, I guess by the grace of Jesus, he is God and I am not. So I won't be the one to condemn or not, but I will just say, there's a lot of risk when you walk away from God. You are in a dangerous, dangerous situation. You are walking right along the edge of the cliff. And I think that's the Ashley visual, is that whatever she's doing, it's right, she's on the edge of falling. And our purpose is to grab people. Now when the dream is like a movie, but she's seeing a boy be her. You know how dreams are. I think that's partly that, but I also think, I think it's walking with Christ, possibly. I'm not real clear on that, but when they start gathering an ark, to build an ark, to crash through the fences, I think that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes as to where we are right now. And see, this dream was dreamt before what I brought you yesterday. So I don't know what happens. I don't know that it even matters what the chronological order is. This dream is about an ark that busts through a barrier to get back to the center of worshiping God, to get as close to God and his people as possible. I am not sure that we're not entering times that you got to get your ark going, y'all. You got to get your ark ready. And that's your spiritual ark. Like your spiritual life with Jesus cannot be blasé or casual right now. No. I know there are baby Christians, and I know that there are many that have. We all are growing in this, and so I don't want to be too harsh, but I also want to say it's time to get serious. It's time to get serious. Satan hates Jesus. Hates him. He doesn't just oppose him or doesn't just, I don't like him. He hates him and he wants to murder us. All right? Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go into that too far. This dream has a lot of meaning. I know I'm just hitting the high points, the elements that stuck out with me. Please tell me, what do you think about this dream? If you had any questions, feel free to comment and ask. But that was fascinating. That was a fascinating dream. Once again, she doesn't watch any of the prepper channels, and she certainly doesn't listen to me or my channels. So this is pretty pure in her thought process. Tell me what you think in the comments. Please, I can't wait to read them. Y'all are the greatest. I mean, we gotta stand firm together, gang. Or yeah, we gotta stand inside at the bottom of the hill, close to where God is. That's all I have. This is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.